The unspeakable things that happened to Anne Boleyn. How to lose a husband and your head in 100 days. Welcome back, my scandal-thirsty Tudor-philes. Today we're unpacking the spectacular crash and burn story of Anne Boleyn, aka the second wife who learned that being irresistible to Henry VIII is actually a medical condition with a 100% fatality rate. This is not your average fall from grace. This is betrayal, backstabbing, sexual politics and Tudor misogyny at its finest. Grab your French hoods and prepare for impact. Anne Boleyn, the original It Girl. Anne Boleyn rolled into Henry's court like she owned the place. Sharp wit, killer fashion, an accent that screamed continental sophistication. She wasn't your typical docile English rose. She was spicy, flirty, clever, and most importantly, she said no. Henry, of course, immediately decided she was the one. Because nothing excites a narcissist more than a woman who won't sleep with him right away. The 7-year chase. Henry spent 7 years trying to get Anne into bed and into marriage. He wrote love letters. He wrote poetry. He even ghosted the Pope, broke from the Catholic Church, and created his own personal religious franchise, the Church of England. Basically, if the Pope won't annul my first marriage, I'll simply invent divorce. Problem solved. Anne finally became queen in 1533, heavily pregnant with their first child. The pressure, immaculate. The expectations, impossible. The real unspeakable thing, giving birth to a girl. Anne's first big unspeakable crime, delivering Elizabeth, a girl. Henry was, let's say, underwhelmed. His one job for Anne was simple: produce a penis with a heartbeat. Anne's failure to produce a spare XY chromosome began the slow unravelling of her royal fairy tale. The miscarriages, the stress, the backstabbing. Anne suffered multiple miscarriages, each one making Henry's side-eye more aggressive. Meanwhile, her enemies at court, and boy, did she have a collection, whispered sweet little rumours into Henry's ears. She's a witch, she bewitched you, she's having affairs with her brother, with half the court, maybe even with a horse. Okay, not the horse, but honestly, the accusations got that unhinged. The plot thickens. Thomas Cromwell enters the chat. Cromwell, Henry's right-hand fixer, decided Anne was politically inconvenient, so he orchestrated one of the most outrageous smear campaigns in royal history. He rounded up court musicians, courtiers, poets. Verdict: guilty. Sentence: off with her head. The execution: French chic, English brutality. On May 19th, 1536, Anne was executed at the Tower of London. Because Henry was feeling generous, read image management, he ordered a French swordsman instead of the traditional English axe. Faster, cleaner, more photogenic. Anne arrived, cool, calm, and fashionably fatal. I die the king's true wife. And then, swoosh. Anne Boleyn went from queen to legend in one stroke. Her legacy, the ghost that never left. Anne Boleyn may have died, but she left behind Queen Elizabeth I, kind of a big deal, a religious revolution, and one of the most famous necklines in history. To this day, people claim to see her ghost at the tower, wandering around, looking for her missing head. Honestly, fair. So if you think your toxic ex was bad, just remember, at least he didn't invent felony incest charges to get out of brunch with your family. Anne Boleyn, the queen who played the game and got played harder. If you loved this royal roller coaster of gaslighting, betrayal, and sharp objects, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow messy history addicts. And remember, in Tudor England, being the one meant you were one bad mood away from public execution.